In the VIP lounge of an underground casino, Maeve, the Falcone family's princess, had been plied with too much hard liquor. Fueled by alcohol, someone goaded her into revealing the most shameless thing she'd ever done to win over the Don. She swirled her glass, pointed at me dealing cards behind the table, and threw her head back with a laugh. 7 years ago, when Declan was in a coma after a shootout, I took his private phone, and I deleted the distress message that girl sent him, every last trace of it. Then I replied in his name, "You're a burden. Go die." You'll never guess what happened next. That girl stood outside the safe house all night in a downpour, like a stray dog. I almost died laughing. The room erupted in crude laughter. Only the man enthroned at the head of the table remained silent. The crystal whiskey glass in his hand shattered with a sharp crack. Liquid mixed with the amber liquor trickling over the veins on the back of his hand before dripping onto the carpet. His murderous, bloodshot eyes were locked on me. I calmly dealt the last hole card in front of him and offered a clean, white silk handkerchief. "Don Declan, you should wipe your hand. Blood on the felt is bad luck. After all, some stains never wash out. 7 years ago, I begged my boyfriend Declan to save my father's life. When we met again, he was the youngest Don in the city, and I was just the woman dealing his cards. Someone dared his fiancée Maeve to share the most shameless thing she'd ever done to win him over. She pointed at me and laughed, boasting about how she'd intercepted my distress message to Declan, leaving me to wait all night in the rain for nothing. Everyone laughed except for Declan. Enthroned at the head of the table, his eyes were bloodshot. "Is that true? Why did you really leave me?" I calmly dealt his whole cards. "Because you told me to go die." The most exclusive underground casino in the city was booked for a private event tonight. Word spread that a powerful new Don who'd climbed to the top through endless struggles was back in town to hold court. When the manager handed me the table assignments, his eyes held a quiet pity I couldn't fully understand. "Sienna, that lounge tonight, if you don't want to go, I can arrange for another dealer." I tugged at the lapels of my low-cut dealer's vest and managed a faint smile. "It's fine, sir. That's the highest stakes table we have. The tips are huge. I need the money. You know that." The manager sighed and patted my shoulder, saying nothing more. As I pushed the chip card into the VIP lounge, the acrid smoke of Cuban cigars mingled with heavy perfume, overwhelming my senses. It was the distinct smell of dirty money and hidden fear. The man I hadn't seen in 7 years slouched on the leather sofa at the head of the room, completely changed from the past. The rough street boy in a battered leather jacket was gone. In his place sat a king who held life and death power over this underground empire. He turned his head listening to a report, a cold, careless smirk on his lips. Nestled right beside him was the mafia princess who'd come between us years ago. Maeve wore a deep V-neck couture gown, pressing close to his chest, the ruby on her necklace shining brightly. She swirled red wine with arrogant grace, playing the perfect lady beside him. "After Declan cleans out the South District, we'll have our wedding. A union of the two families." Congratulatory voices filled the room at once. Our Don and his princess. A true power couple. Don Declan is a legend in the underworld now. Maeve, you're truly fortunate. Their love survived hardship. Unlike that cowardly girl who abandoned him to save herself, she deserves nothing but a miserable life. A thug spoke with vulgar contempt, and the room turned cold instantly. All eyes turned straight to me as I shuffled cards behind the poker table. I moved like a numb machine, shuffling and cutting the deck before placing the ace of spades on the felt. Texas Hold'em, no limit. Place your bets, gentlemen. I pushed 2 whole cards across the green felt to Declan with crisp, flawless movements. Declan finally looked up. His eyes were filled with contempt, disgust, and bottomless hatred. He ignored his cards, staring straight at me through cigar smoke. My sore-dealing wrist trembled slightly. "Sienna?" His voice was low and raspy. "I heard you ran off with a rival family's capo. Did he grow